Hello everyone, welcome you back for the further sessions on the PDMS, PMMA, PARYLENE and other what we can say the polymeric materials what we are using in the case of the MEMS, and also a small introduction with respect to the microfluids and also biological concepts. As the name suggests that the PDMS, the polydimethylsiloxane. Now here this is a elastomer material and which can sustain a large degree of deformation and recover their shapes after deformation force also. See, these type of materials, or it may be the polymers, are having a major application in the case of the silicon elastomer family, and which are also having a major advantages, that especially in the design of the sensors, or it may be in the case of the actuators. It is optionally a transparent and electrically insulating and mechanically elastic and gas permeable and biocompatible material. Now PDMS are widely used in the case of the microfluidics sensing. Now the primary and processing methods is molding and a straightforward and almost a fast and a low cost prototype materials. Now a unique processing characteristics of the PDMS is worth noting. Now here in this case, the volume of the PDMS shrinks during the curing steps. Due to the what we can say the volume shrinking and the flexibility, the deposited on the metal thin films on the cured PDMS tends to develops the crack, affecting the what we can say the electrical conductivity. The surface chemical properties can be varied by altering the mixing ratios through a surface chemicals, or it may be by means of electrode treatment. Now the PDMS is commonly supplied in the visco liquid, and it can be casted or spin coated on the substrates. Now etching of the PDMS with a plasma leads to a surface on the what we can say the line edge roughs. The PMMA is another materials which are supplied in many different forms, either it may be in the bulk, or it may be the sheets, or even it may be in the form of the solutions which can be coated by means of a spin coating. The PMMA bulk most commonly known by a trade name which is called as acrylics, which has been used in making the microfluidic devices. The spin coating PMMA has been used in a what we can say in a sacrificial layer as well. The next topic what we are discussing is with respect to the PARYLENE. PARYLENE is another material which comes under the category of the thermoset material or the thermoset polymers. It is one of the plastic material that is deposited using the CVD process, or it may be a chemical vapor deposition process. The deposition process is conducted under the room temperature only. The PARYLENE deposition system consists of a source chamber connected to a what we can say the vacuum deposition chamber. The PARYLENE coating is deals for the what we can say the electrical isolation, or it may be a chemical isolation, or even the preservations and as well as the sealing material. The thickness of the PARYLENE coating can be generally controlled by means of the amount of the dinner. The next one is nothing but the what we can say the fluorocarbon. The fluorocarbons is the another type of the materials normally which are having a trade name of either it may be a Teflon or it may be acetone, which provides an excellent chemical inertness and also thermally stable and non-flammability during a strong bonding. CFs are having a major application, especially in the electronic field. These are comes under the category of the either it may be the insulation materials, or it may be a surface coating material, or it may be anti-reflection materials, or even simply adhesion agents. The next topic what we are discussing is with respect to the other different types of polymers what we are using in the case of the MEMS family. The additional to the 7 polymers what we have discussed is nothing but a biodegradable polymers, the wax, and also the polycarbonates. As we know that the biodegradable polymers are having a major application, that too especially even in the case of what we can say the biomedical applications. The wax and also the polycarbonates are also having a major applications. Biodegradable polymers. The biodegradable polymer materials have been developed and even the investigation are, and also what we can say the researches is going on in the field of the biomedical field. The implantable materials what it has been used comes under the category of the biodegradable polymers only. For examples, either it may be a drug delivery systems, or it may be a tissue engineering, or it may be even the plastic surgeries. The biodegradable polymers such as either it may be a polycaproactone, or it may be polyglycolide, or it may be a polylactide. These are all the material which is demonstrated in the MEMS use, especially in the case of the biodegradable polymers. The biodegradable polymers are thermoplasts. The microstructures have been formed, and the microbonding and the application with respect to the microfluids in the channels, reservoirs, needles, and even with respect to the walls also. The next topic what we are discussing is nothing but the paraffins. The paraffins provides a many interesting properties which are not found in the other materials. The paraffins, which is having a very low melting temperature around 40 degree to 70 degree centigrade, with a high volumetric expansion of 14 to 16%. The paraffins can lead to a many interesting transduction and as well as the mechanism and also microfabrication techniques. The paraffin based what we can say the actuators have been used especially in the case of the microfluids and the valves and even the pumping by the encapsulation, or it may be encapsulating. The paraffins can be deposited using either thermal evaporation, or it may be patterned using the plasma generated with the oxygen of the freon gas mixtures. The next topic what we are discussing is nothing but the polycarbonate. The polycarbonate is a tough, dimensionally stable and a transparent thermoplast material. Polycarbonate parts can be bonded very easily, and even it can be welded. In the MEMS of the polycarbonate has been used in the microfabrication and also micro channeling using the what we can say the either sacrificial etching or by means of the molding. The polycarbonate sheets with a ion track etched holes has found to be a major application in the field of the filtering, or it may be in the filter applications. That too especially a nano-sized filtering, it can be done very easily. The applications are a number. Even with respect to the acceleration sensors, or it may be the pressure sensor, or it may be the flow sensor, or it may be tactical sensors. These are used with respect to the what we can say the other polymers. Either it may be a biodegradable polymers, or it may be the wax, or it may be a polycarbonates. Now, the next topic is nothing but the microfluids. The motivation behind the microfluids is with that because of the what we can say the chemical and also the biological analytical procedures which are used in the application of the medical diagnosis and also environmental monitoring, and also the traditionally been conducted dedicated to laboratories and also high trained personnel. See, there are protocols which are performed on the benchtop and also even in the test tubes, or even in the beakers, and even with respect to the human implantation. Once if the benchtops or it may be the protocols has been done, then the same thing it can be implemented in the human applications. This benchtop norms has been limitedly accessibility for the long term around the time and as well as a complex logistics with a high cost. The microfluidics, as the name, the microfluidics, it consists of the microfluid and as well as ICS, which are identical in nature. Even the same way the microelectronics also, these put together is having a major application, that too especially in the biological fields. Now, the much like microelectronics, electronic circuits, revolutionizing with respect to the signal processing, or it may be a communication, or it may be a fluid reactions. Even what we can say in the case of the interventions of the drugs, their discoveries, or it may be the environmental monitoring, or it may be a cell culture, these are all having a major application with respect to the microfluidics and also microelectronic. Now the next part, what even with respect to the bioterrorism, is also a one field in which the microfluidics is having a major application. Some of the major benefits by using the what we can say the microfluidics platforms is the replace of the benchtop chemistry. The first one is nothing but a microfluidic systems reduces a dead volume associated with the chemical assay system with respect to the large scale chamber and connectors. The second one is the microfluidic systems reduces the amount of the chemical assay and also the solution required, and thus can be potentially reduce the cost of the savings and the amount of the expensive chemicals and also the biological samples. The third one is nothing but the microelectronic style, the bulk fabrication will reduces the cost of the sophisticated systems. The fourth one is nothing but the microfluids can also achieve a high level multiplexity and also the parallel operations in increasing the efficiency of the chemical and also the biological discovery. As you know that the microfluids are in the microscale fluids elements also finds the border with respect to the biological or it may be the chemical analysis. The microfluids have also been used for performing a novel microfabrication and also nanofabrication of the components. See, before going with respect to the either it may be the microfluids or it may be the micro electronic devices or it may be microelectronics, first we have to go with respect to the biological concepts. The microfluid systems is used to handle the interaction with respect to the biological and also the chemical particles and the substances including the cells and even the proteins and even the DNAs, and in a simpler way we can say it as a polymer. Now in this section or an overview, what we are discussing with respect to the characteristics of the essential biological and chemistry elements and pertaining to the design and the fabrication and the function of the microfluids, we are discussing it. The MEMS developers should be at least conversant about the key terminology with respect to concepts of the biology and also the chemistry. Why means here there are so many other polymeric chains, like either it may be a DNA chain or it may be a protein chains or it may be a cells or having a interaction with respect to the material. A few of these are reviewed below, and the interested readers should be referring the other textbooks, either it may be with respect to the biological concepts with respect to the and also the chemistry concepts, like either it may be a biopolymer materials.